Welcome to another edition of the Inalienable Right Guys. We hold all these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal and endowed with certain inalienable rights from, you know. Oh, you didn't find the thing?
No, the thing.
The thing I started out right here. I'm going to start a little funny. I learned this in 1787. I'm told our founding fathers did agree to ratifice the principles for you and me. Said we the people, in order to establish more perfect union, establish just and tranquility to our hostility. Anyway, I got that from School of Rock.
Oh,
School
yeah.
Rock. I got that from
Schoolhouse Rock.
Schoolhouse Rock. And by the way, I don't know if I told you, Brother Darryl, a friend of ours, I remember.
Yeah.
His brother wrote something.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, we just want to break the ice a little bit and clown around a little bit. So forgive us for some of the.
No, that's all right. I think it's good. No, we just want to kind of talk about, we're on the eve of the election, and we want to talk about kind of what we see going on and basically our enthusiasm that Donald Trump is going to be reelected. I think if you look at where he's going, what he's been doing these last several days, all the people, Elmo just told me that one of the, like Pennsylvania, one of those, like 57,000 people showed up. Wow.
Super spreaders.
Yeah.
we ain't worried about that. We got a country to save.
Yeah, that's right. You got it. Like Larry Elder likes to say, we got a country to save. And I know when they first started, a couple weeks ago, people started going voting, and they still want to say that, Biden's ahead and all this. I don't know. I think that's complete bunk. What I was telling him earlier is like, we already know, they want to say that he's like so many, double digits ahead, Biden. And it's like, we already know that the country is more or less divided in half. You've got roughly something like 40-45% on either side that are going to vote Democrat or Republican. That's just down the line. One of the guy that actually ran for office here in Texas, probably 8 years ago, something like that. I actually got to talk to him about some of the stuff about the elections and stuff like that. And he explained a lot of stuff about demographics and all this kind of thing. And he said basically that's the case. He said you've got people that are going to vote Democrat or Republican irregardless, and it's pretty straight divided in the country. And so he said it's that slot in the middle that that you're really trying to get the votes for. And so I just so the idea that he's double digits ahead in some of these polls and stuff is just crazy. I can't see that. No. And then like I say, when you see all this, where all Trump is going, and all the rallies, and just the enthusiasm, like we talked about the enthusiasm gap before in the polls, it's just like, if it's not a blowout, I'm gonna be surprised.
Yeah, and I'm calling Texas already.
Yeah.
They're talking about Texas is up for grab. Man, quit that. They need to stop that. You think we don't like our energy sector? We put a premium on that.
Exactly.
We love, man. I'm looking at these guys and it just puzzles me to no end. I mean, they antagonize me wherever I'm at because they know how I feel about this. I'm not overconfident. I'm just confident. And for them to ride around here and see these stable oil, gas prices, energy prices, and low taxes, who can vote against that? Not Texas. So I'm calling Texas tonight. Y'all can. I ain't calling an election, but I'm pretty confident, enthusiastic about the outcome. And when you look at the other side, the left, those that cast their Biden votes, I noticed some on Facebooks and the like. They got their mask on and they got their little "I voted" as if they that is it. I mean, people are looking at this as a game. This is not a game. Oh, no. This is about saving America. This is about making America great again. You know, and I've never seen no one do this, shut down the whole economy, and then bring it back at that rate.
Oh, yeah.
And so he deserves a second term, and I'm confident he will get one.
I don't know where he got it, but he got a magic wand. Something,
Obama,
Obama said, Obama said, "Well, he got a magic wand. He's gonna bring these jobs back. It's not happening. He ain't got a magic wand." Well, somewhere he got a magic wand, and boof, in the first 2-3 years, it started growing, and record low unemployment for everybody, and then this COVID mess happened.
Right.
But already, they just, what was it just the other day? They posted job numbers or GDP or something,
Oh, man.
and it's just shooting right back up.
33.3.
And so, I don't know where he got that magic wand, but
well, he got it from his business brain.
yeah, exactly.
And this is what's scaring them on the other side of the Beltway in Washington D.C. and the likes, is they saying that politics or the politicians and they are irrelevant when it comes to business. You got to hold people accountable, and that's what Donald J. Trump is doing, and that's what he's doing. That's why he knows when he gets these stimulus bills, which I personally have conveyed to Mark. I think the spending is a little erratic and a little off the chart.
Needs to be addressed.
But at the same time, that money, what Nancy and them trying to get that money to do and go over there to illegal aliens and go to their pet projects, he said no. He allots that. That's what businnmen do. They make sure if you say you're going to take this money and build infrastructures or build the wall, then he sets that money aside. He don't jumble all that money up together and then say, well, like Obama said one time, well, I guess shovel-ready jobs wasn't shovel-ready. Yeah, but you already milked the people for $1 trillion for shovel-ready jobs. But soon that money got signed over, it started going to their lobbyists, to their pet projects. Right. But here, this is where that magic wand at, is in the brilliance and the ability to calculate and to add and to subtract and to do the things that necessary in spite of all those that say the naysayers. So Mr. Trump is brilliant to me.
Well,
as a dude said, since sliced bread.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like, if you're building skyscrapers, okay, this is how much concrete we're going to need. This is how much it's going to cost.
Exactly.
This is how much labor it's going to cost to, pour the concrete. How much steel we're going to need. What it's going to cost to, get that here, and the labor to install that. You've got all those things set out so that you know what all it's going to take and what it's going to cost, and you know that guys like Trump, they know how to trim the fat. Because if there's anything, now I'm sure there's times like Trump Tower when he wants gold chandeliers with diamonds and rubies and whatever,
You're not in Dubai.
And he's, and if that's what he wants, that's what he's going to put in there. But at the same time, if you're building apartments or other stuff out there, I'm sure you got to know every little thing and know where you can, and especially, I don't know if, I'm not sure, if some of this stuff he had to bid out or anything like that. And so that if you have to bid on something, you got to have every little thing in order so you know exactly what everything's going to cost and what you can afford to get rid of. And so, to have that business acumen to do that. Right. And if you look at, like this last bill that they've been talking about, the stuff it's like $2.2 trillion. I think the amount of money, I'm trying to remember what it was now, but there was a certain amount of money that basically if you gave every adult, there's a statistic I saw the other day that said if you gave every working adult the money that was set aside for this, it would amount to like $11,000 per person.
I didn't know that.
And yet we're going to get $1,200.
Yeah.
And then all the rest of this stuff is going to go off for all this other
mess. And
we'll end up paying nothing to do with
we'll end up paying back $11,000 on the $1,200.
Yeah.
It'll be reversed.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, I interrupt this program. Trump has just won Florida. Okay. Ohio. Michigan. Okay. Well, so that's the way I can't help but reflect on 216. And I got to seeing all that red coming all across TV, and then my granddaughter was there, and she was already, they done scared her that Trump was gonna be the worst thing that come along, and the world is coming to an end if Trump wins. And she was sitting there watching me, and then I looked at her, I said, beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere. And that's what I feel. And she started laughing. I said, lighten up. I had to teach you that, again, no overconfidence. Don't blame no overconfidence. I don't have but one vote. And this is what we saying. Get out and vote. Matter of fact, that get out and vote and take 2 or 3 people with you. Vote. I mean, because November the 3rd, you'll see the lines a lot longer than they were in early voting. We got out and
I had the lines in some of the places that I went past early voting, because there's one polling place that I got to go by when I'm coming to town, and man, that like first week, every day that I went by, there was a line of people out the door. I was like, wow, this is something else. There's a lot of people getting out there voting, that's good.
Because it's a sleeping giant, and they call it the silent majority. We sit back, America, and when I say we, I'm saying we the people of America. We sit back, and I know, speaking for myself individually, and watch what they did to that Kavanaugh guy, and I was helpless. Matter of fact, I was just bowled over. I mean, this guy was a dignified. He does everything that the country teaches us to do: pay your taxes, abide by the law. Raise your family, be responsible. This man had a history of that, and y'all go in there and try to bring up stuff that he did in the 2nd grade and in the 3rd grade. Mm-hmm. I'm glad nobody brought up some things I've done back in the past. So it's that and all this impeachment farce, this Russia stuff, that $35 million investigation on something they knew when they walked in the door that it was false. Mm-hmm. And they used the taxpayer money like that. And then and I'm convinced with the impeachment, they allowed that coronavirus to slip right on in there, because they had America's attention focused over there. They don't want to take no credit for none of this. But this is the type of things that are making us enthusiastic, making the silent majority and the sleeping lion. He gonna roar. He's gonna raise his head up. And they caused this. They brought this on themselves, and I'm convinced that American people is gonna give Donald Trump 4 more years. Yeah. And I'm ready for it. And I think that, as he always said, and this is something else I've been checking out, Mark, is that while the media started saying he lie. Joe Biden is lying all the time. I ain't never seen. I don't think he can open his mouth with that line. But one thing I did notice about Trump tells them stuff in advance. He's transparent. Mm-hmm. And then they come all the way around and find out that it's so. Just like he's saying that we will have a vaccine. Mm-hmm. I trust him that we will have a vaccine pretty soon. But they want him to, to put something in granite so they can take it and scrutinize it. Yeah. And so everything that he told them, he said, my campaign was spied on. Sure it was. They said spy, that's an old, archaic word. They don't do that no more. That's James Bond.
He was surveilled. Yeah.
And so what and then all this stuff coming, he said, I told you. He said this economy downward is gonna make a V shape. It's coming back up. And then the GDP come out. And they try to downplay it. Well, it's not what he said it was, but it is doing better and all that. Anything they can do. And so these little old mass media fake news, as a matter of fact, he exposed them to, and that was, to me, that's what got me ready to walk with America on the side, whatever we are, to protect our country, to uphold our rights, to do the things that, freedoms that the sharing the freedom we have. That's what I'm excited about.
Well, I saw somebody talking about today. He was talking about when Trump lies, a lot of times, the media makes a big deal out of some of this stuff, but most of the stuff that he lies about is hyperbole. It's like, oh, this is going to be huge. We're going to do all this, you know. Oh, well, it didn't quite make that, so he lied.
Yeah.
You know.
And Mexico going to pay for the wall.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he lied. How are they going to do that? But he knows how to do things to make it so, they're going to pay. They might not be paying, you know, writing checks to the wall, but, you know, but they're going to pay. Yeah. You know.
Through the window to the wall.
But
they're going to pay. You're correct. Because they're going to do it through tariffs. They're going to do it with this new agreement that we had that Mexico and Canada and done away with that old NAFTA stuff that was taking all our taxpayers' dollars. And now they have something that they have to put more into so that inadvertently pays for things that we need done. You know, whether even stopping all them cartels and taking their money, whatever we got to do, they gonna pay.
Yeah, and see, that's something I don't understand. You know, like I said in the last video where he talks about, you know, a lot of the things that he talks about now that he's been wanting to do, that we were talking about doing, is stuff that the Democrats wanted to do 10 or 15 years ago. Wall is one. You know, you can go back and see Bill Clinton talking about how we needed to upgrade our security and our walls and everything else. You know, Obama in first term, whatever, I think he said some of the same stuff. And it's like, but he's actually getting it done. And we need to. I don't understand, you know, people that want open borders, because look at all the stuff that comes in through these borders. You know, they're complaining about all these children that, you know, they're locked up down there or whatever. They can't find their parents and all that. A lot of those were brought over here by coyotes, and some of these people don't understand that's not a literal coyote. But, you know,
I interrupt this program. Huh? Trump has just took Minnesota, blue state. That's in '72. Okay, back to you, Mark.
All right. Anyway, but it's not just that. I mean, it's all the drugs and all the other stuff that comes across the border. That, man, how can you want prosperity? You know, if you want to have, you know, a prosperous country and do all these things, when you've got all these drugs and all this other stuff coming in, it's messing up. You know, not only, you know, I mean, who a lot of these, who does it affect the most? It affects the poor people. You know, and so open borders. You got all these people coming in, taking up jobs that could be done by people that are already here. And then you've got all the drugs that are coming in, and they're messing up, you know, most of the poor people. You know, they get stuck on this. Now, not everybody. I mean, Hunter Biden's not poor.
He were until he started messing with Ukraine and China and Burisma and all them conglomerates. But yeah, it does mess with the poor. But sometimes, you know, politics is a vicious, dirty game. Sometimes we underestimate it because it plays on our emotion. But the Obama administration incentivized for illegals in their policies to come here, and as a result, they built the cages. Right. They don't want to strip the babies from their parents, and the coyotes picked up on, hey, all I gotta do is bring a child to the states under this policy, and they get to stay. And so while the politicians have us looking at them and their personalities, like a lot of people on the left, that's all they can see about Trump and his personality. Trump policies are gold standards, if you ask me.
Exactly.
They gold standards.
Yeah, exactly. These very same things it doesn't make any sense. These are common sense things that all Americans should want. You know, like you said in one of our previous videos, you know, common sense. We got a shortage of common sense. But it's true, you know, these are things that everybody should want because it'll make us so much better, you know. And those are the policies that he's been putting in place, that he wants to put in place. This platinum plan, you know, all this kind of stuff.
Revitalizing Black America, bringing back the jobs, bringing back the manufacturers. I remember when I was a young man, nothing like manufacturing, seeing a hard-working dad come home and his wife, stay-home wife, and children rushing to see him, and he's telling his work stories, but he's paying the bills, and everyone's eating and sitting around the table. This is what we talking about, making America great again. This is what I want to see more of, as you and I was talking about our future. Our future. That's why I'm enthusiastic.
Yeah,
and,
places like Detroit, Minneapolis, these places that
yeah,
are having all
the
these
city
issues.
set on the hill. That was a beacon.
Amazing.
Detroit
Yeah.
was a beacon.
Oh, yeah.
Every city looked at Detroit at one point and wanted to emulate it and be like Detroit. You know.
Exactly. Let's try to build these things back.
And it's nothing.
And not build back better.
Yeah, oh man. That
just
seems like it's not that complicated. You know, when it comes, only thing standing in our way is high taxes and regulations and all these environmental quacks that the unelected bureaucrats that want to sit here and control things. You know, in California, you know, with the control, they won't allow controlled burning. Now you see with the fires, they stop beautiful landscapes only to save some kind of salmonella fish or something that almost extinct. they might close the whole ocean down, won't allow no water in that area. You know, so it's who does that? You know who does that? So we're on the eve of the election, and again, you know, this video is already pre-recorded. So at the point we had to come back and how they say, eat crow. I don't like crow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Not, but
I don't eat crow. So I feel strongly.
I just want to say one thing though. Mm-hmm. That Build Back Better. Mm-hmm. They can't even come up with their own decent slogan. You know, make America great again. They just paraphrased it, Build Back Better.
Exactly.
You know,
plagiarizing. A generic form.
You know, plagiarize that too. Oh, we can think of something. Build Back Better.
Yeah,
really? That's what you come up with.
Like that. Who was that? One of our conservatives that was talking about Joe and talking about what he would do with the different with the coronavirus and everything. He's talking about.
Well, that was Mike Pence. You know, at the debate with Kamala. It's like. Okay. Well, everything he said sounds like what we're doing. You know, it's like
it's already on paper, it's on the books.
Yeah,
what y'all do? Just
sounds like plagiarism, which he's kind of familiar with that anyway. So
that's exactly what it sounds like. And word for word, man, verbatim. You know. So again, we the right guys are really, as you can see, we're looking forward to America remaining that beacon and that we have more sane people in this country than they know, and we're going to rise up and take our country back from the politicians and bureaucrats and the likes. So thank y'all for listening to us.
Thank you.